So let's talk a little bit about follow-ups, because I know that's something that I told you before, we kind of are trying to figure out that balance. Because I feel like a lot of people, they're like, all right, I don't want to bother this person too much, or hey, I'm only going to check in with them in a certain amount of time, or they get too busy and they forget. How do you come up with a good follow-up system that makes sense for your business, that you can do consistently over and over, and that doesn't take up a ton of time for you and for your team?
Right. Well, the follow-up that I've been doing since day one, when I started doing a lot of outreach company business and then into my own business, is getting in front of a lot more people. So you're the face of your company. You have to get in front of more people, right? So you should not be spending a bunch of time with all the business card data entry. That's the number one thing that gets people stuck. When they get a bunch of business cards from an event, like I label them. I put a label and what event this is from, and then I either send them off to my team, I scan them into my team, or I mail them off to my team, depending on where they are, or they pick them up sometimes. I have a local team. So they enter the database right away. That has to happen right away, or you will be delayed in your follow-up. So that's the number one thing in your follow-up, to delegate. You should not be doing that, because while those people are typing up those cards, you should be out and getting another stack of cards, and another stack of connections in another event or another speaking gig, or even online. Online, there's ways too. So that's the number one mistake people make, is they don't delegate the data entry. And then, of course, they try to just follow up via email. And email, I mean, if you send me an email today for the very first time in my computer, my email has never seen your email address yet, more than likely it's going into spam or trash these days. Now, email is not dead. It is still a very viable way to follow up with people. But you have to do more than that in the initial follow-up period, which I consider the initial follow-up period after meeting someone, whether it's online or offline, 60 days. So in that first 60 days is massive follow-up. I mean, you've got to do multiple emails. You've got to do phone calls. You have to pick up the phone and call people and say, hey, I sent you an email. Go look for it. It might be in your spam or trash. I wanted to talk to you after the event the other day. Right? You have to do that. You have to send direct mail. You have to send stuff in the mail. You can send brochures. You could send postcards. I have postcards sitting in my desk that I can just, write out their address, send them right off, and they're just sitting here. Now, these can sit in my assistant's desk too, along with some stamps. And as soon as she's ready, done the data entry, she can pull out the postcards and hand address them or print labels and send them off. So that can be delegated. The emails can be delegated. If you pre-write some of those follow-up emails, which I talk about doing templates in your emails, then if you pre-write them and you make them sort of general, like, hey, it was great to meet you at the blank event, and I'd love to find out more. Let's have a phone call. You always want to try to take it to a phone call, in my opinion. I know sometimes we're super busy, but that's where you find out if or how you can help each other. You and I got on a phone call, and here I am on your podcast, right? And I became an affiliate of Freya because we got on a phone call, because we met on social media and stuff like that. So if you don't take it to a phone call, you are missing out on huge opportunities for more referrals, for more business perhaps. In addition to email, phone, and direct mail, you've got to reach out on social to even the people that you met in person. Sometimes my best way to follow up with people that I meet at an event is to go on and send them a Facebook message or even a LinkedIn message, depending on where your target is. And that's like gold right there. You can start the conversation. You can say, oh, I also sent you an email. Go check it. It might be in your spam or trash. Or I left you a voicemail. Did you see it? Right? Let me know if you want to chat. So you just have to, I don't want to say pester people, but you got to pester them because they're not paying attention. They're not paying attention in many of those different ways. So you have to get in front of them in many different ways. And I could go on and on for hours, but that's like the gist of it.
So you got direct mail, you got email, you got phone call. I actually do the same thing when I get back from a conference. I lay the business cards on the ground and I take pictures of them and I just send the pictures over to my assistants. What about actually writing the emails? Because people get so many emails these days. How do you get your email to stand out?
So we have to figure out a plan for that. You can't just ignore them because you're not doing them. You have to figure out how to get them into place. And sometimes that's just learning a little bit more about what you don't know, or it's about just putting the right people in place, or both. Yeah.